The PlayStation Games Showcase for 2023 just finished wrapping up about an hour or so ago. So I got you covered with everything that they showed, some of the trailers, and I'll also give you some of my takes. Before we begin, you guys know what to do. Hit that like button if you like this type of content. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. Starting off the show with Sony's recently acquired Haven Studios, and they brought us a CGI trailer of a game that they're calling Fair Games. It was just a teaser and it didn't really show too much gameplay, but it does focus on the game's steal from the rich type of vibe. No release date, but we did get confirmation that it's coming to the PlayStation 5 and PC. Not sure if that means that they're coming out at the same time or the traditional console and then PC a year later. No mention of the game coming out on any other platform, but then again, this was a recently acquired studio, so chances are this is most likely going to be an exclusive. Next up was Helldivers 2 from the makers of Arrowhead. This is the sequel from the top-down shooter from 2015. It's coming to PlayStation 5 and Windows PC later this year. From the makers of EA via Ascendant Studios, we have Immortals, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC on July 20th. The trailer showed us a little bit about the story and gameplay leading up to the release. I'm going through the list a little bit fast, so if you want to see the full trailer, I'll have a link in the description to each one of these. Ghost Runner 2, published by 505 and One More Level, bringing the action-forward first-person platforming to a new generation of consoles, coming out on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. Coming out later this year, no official release date. Next up we have Phantom Blade Zero. This is from the makers of S-Game. Now this one does look very interesting. Looks like a fast-paced sword-based combat where you can take on multiple enemies, and then even the boss fights look pretty cool. My only gripe is that I wish this game would have some more color instead of this overall grayscale. A lot of blood was shed, but they did not shed a release date. Sword of the Sea from the developers of Abzu and The Pathless looks like a super chill game where you get to travel across, sands and water and stuff. He was skateboarding on what looks like a flat pencil, but I have a feeling that's the sword that they're talking about in the name. Coming to the PS5, no release date and no mention of PC or any other platform. The critically acclaimed Talos Principle, released in 2014, now looks like we're getting part 2, expected later this year. The series is known for its use in philosophy and puzzles to create a unique experience. No official release date, but coming out later this year, coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. From the makers Giant Squid, looks like we got a game called Neva. The protagonist with a sword encounters animals in the forest and is accompanied by some sort of wolf with antlers or a deer that's a wolf. I'm not sure what to make of this. Named after the amount of times that I'm going to give this game a shot, it's coming to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series in 2024. Next up, by Square Enix, we have a colorful shooter named Foam Stars. If you ask me, it looks just like Splatoon, but if you add foam instead of liquid, and maybe if it was a pool party with a little bit of shooting in there. Coming to the PlayStation 5 as of right now, no release date and no mention of other platforms. Plucky Squire by indie developer Devolver Digital looks like a 2D and a 3D type of action-adventure game, coming out on all platforms in 2023. Next up, we have a game that looks so much like Minecraft that I actually thought it was Minecraft, but no, it's actually called Teardown, and as the name suggests, you tear stuff down. Apparently this game is already out on PC, but it's coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Konami is back in the gaming business. They announced Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remake. That's the third in the series entry, coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Next we have Towers of Aghasba. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that, but that's what I'm going to go with. It comes from Dreamlit. This game appears to be taking inspiration from Breath of the Wild, but it's really a game about rebuilding a strange alien world. It's still early, but I'd like to see more. Final Fantasy 16 story trailer dropped. Nothing new, but this is sure to build the hype for the game that's coming out in June 22nd. From Remedy Entertainment, the highly anticipated sequel to Alan Wake. From over a decade ago, 2010 was the last time this game released. Alan Wake 2, coming to the PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series. The game will release October 17th. We got another trailer for Assassin's Creed Mirage, out October 12th. Bossing plays a significant role in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but this game predates Valhalla. I don't think this is the games as a service Assassin's Creed game that Ubisoft was referring to in the past. Looks like it's another single entry into the franchise. Capcom making an appearance with Dragon's Dogma 2 during the showcase. It's a single player action RPG game, and you guessed it, there are dragons. No official release date, but it is expected in 2024 to come out on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. For the 15 of you that have a PlayStation VR 2, Resident Evil 4 is getting a VR mode. There was a rumor going around that we might see Half-Life Alyx get a PlayStation VR 2 port, but that didn't make an appearance, at least not at this time. Maybe it's still coming down the road, but as of right now, it's very disappointing to see that it's not coming to the PlayStation VR 2. Back to Resident Evil 4, no release date was given. One of the more exciting entries in today's showcase was Marathon. Marathon is made by Bungie, the same people that make currently Destiny 2 and in the past Halo. And if the name Marathon sounds familiar at all to some people, that's because they published the game in 1994 on the Mac with the same name. So this is, I don't know if you want to call it a remake or a spiritual successor, but it's essentially the same game in modern times. Not exactly the same game, but at least the namesake. So they're revitalizing one of their older IPs. We still don't have all the details just yet, but it looks like it's a colorful shooter. And if it's made by Bungie, anything Bungie makes, it's usually pretty good. So I'm excited for this one, or at least to find out more. This is just a teaser, so we really don't have much info on a release date, but we do know that it is coming out on the PlayStation 5 series and Xbox Series and on PC. Next up, something called Concord by the developer Fireworks or Firework. Trailer really didn't show much. I mean, I guess it's just a teaser, but something to do with space, I'm guessing. I mean, you're watching as much as we got. This is it. What you're seeing is what we got. But what I can say is that the release date is in 2024. So it's coming out next year, and it's coming for PlayStation 5 and PC. As of right now, no mention of other platforms. Next up in a games showcase, we got a movie trailer for Gran Turismo that I guess is technically based on a game, but it's still a movie trailer in a games show. Not a game, not a game. We're talking about a trailer, not a game. Not even a new trailer at that. We've already seen this. The movie is coming out in August exclusively in theaters with Sony projectors. We're coming to an end here with our final two items. The next is what Sony is referring to as Project Q. It's not a game, but it is hardware related. First up, we have a remote play-based handheld. Essentially, they stuck an 8-inch screen in between a DualSense controller. It has all the same features as a DualSense, but with the big screen in the middle. I think it only works with Wi-Fi in your home, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the same thing that your phone can do with remote play. So maybe this is for those people that don't have a phone or a DualSense controller. From that aspect, it doesn't make too much sense. But what I will say is that I'm very interested in this because I'd love to see what the hacking community can come up with. If we can use this device to install some sort of homebrew where you can get other older PlayStation 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 games on there, and possibly other consoles like the NES or the Super NES, Nintendo 64, any of those things, then that would make this a very popular item. The other thing is we have to see what the price is going to be. There's still no announcement on release date or price. The second item part of Project Q is a pair of earbuds. These are in-ear Bluetooth headphones that would work also with your mobile device in addition to your console. So this is a nice alternative to the PlayStation 3D Pulse headphones. I think that's what they're called. And last but definitely not least, we got Spider-Man 2. Not just a trailer, but we actually got some gameplay. They took us through a mission where you get to play as Spider-Man and Miles, and you also get to see that Spider-Man has the Venom suit. Seeing Spider-Man in the Venom suit kind of spoils the game just a little bit, but if you beat the last game, you kind of saw that coming. I don't want to go too in depth with all the Spider-Man stuff because I was thinking of doing a separate video just for that, sort of like a live reaction kind of thing, even though I already saw it, but at least I give you my opinions. Needless to say, Spider-Man 2 was the highlight of the show. There's a reason why they left it for last. It seems like we're getting more of what we got in the previous 2 entries, and I don't mean that in a negative way. The last 2 games were really good, so more of it is just more fun. What's cool is that they also introduced the gliding mechanic. I can't wait to try that out. So that was pretty much everything that was in the Sony showcase. There were a couple other things here and there, a couple VR games I didn't really cover, a couple of indie games I didn't really cover, but I covered most of the major things. And then I'll have links in the description for you guys. But let me know what you guys think. I put up a poll on Twitter under Tech Control Media. So go to Twitter. Let me know what you think. Rate the show, whether you think it was an A, B, C, or D. As I'm scrolling through Twitter, it seems like the consensus is that it was a decent show, but it lacked a lot of things that people were anticipating. And maybe that's due to rumors getting out of hand and things like that. But at the end of the day, a lot of things that people were expecting didn't show up. For example, GTA 6 rumors were going wild all last week. So if GTA 6 would have made an appearance, doesn't matter if Spider-Man 2 was there or not. They could have had Wolverine. GTA 6 would have stolen the show. But nonetheless, it was a decent show overall. And there's a couple games in there that I'm excited for, and I can't wait to play. Let me know what you guys think, and if you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure to do so. Leave a like, send this to your buddy or two, and leave your comments below.